Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Firstly, can I associate my party with the comments of yourself, the leader, and the shadow leader regarding Godfrey Cameron, and also send our condolences to his family? Can I also take this opportunity to note the sad passing of the Archbishop of Glasgow, Philip Tartaglia, who died suddenly yesterday. I know that this House will join me in sending condolences to his family and to the Catholic community of Glasgow. Mr. Speaker, 2 agenda points to start. I note that the Labour opposition has been allocated 2 debate days in the current business statement. When might my party expect 1? Secondly, the debate on the House of Lords trade bill amendments is scheduled for next Tuesday, yet the amendments themselves will not be published until after the Lords finish their debate late on Monday night. Can I ask why the undue haste in this scheduling? Let me now turn to the Brexit fishing disaster. Boats confined to harbour, lorry loads of seafood destroyed, the industry losing 1 million a day as firms go bust, all as a result of Brexit red tape imposed by this government. Yet when asked about this yesterday, the Prime Minister refused to answer. And when asked this morning how long this would last, the government minister contemptuously replied, "How long is a piece of string?" When can we have a debate about compensation for the Scottish seafood industry for the havoc that has been wreaked upon it by this Conservative government? And with the select committee which oversees our relationship with the European Union being scrapped, what parliamentary mechanism will replace it? Finally, Mr. Speaker, let me turn to the question the Prime Minister refuses to answer. Can we have a debate on what democratic mechanism is available to the people of Scotland if they wish to change the way in which they are governed? I ask because today's Scotsman newspaper publishes a poll stating that 57% of people in Scotland wish to become an independent country. The 18th poll in a row to report a pro-independence majority. It is no use the leader repeating the once-in-a-generation mantra as if expressing a view 7 years ago means that people are forbidden from doing so again. What happens if a majority in Scotland take a different view and vote to have the right to choose an independent future? We need to have a debate on what this Parliament's response will be to that outcome and whether it still believes in the claim of right for Scotland, which states that people have a right to choose how they are governed.
Leader of the House.
Mr. Speaker, once again the honourable gentleman repeats his question, and I therefore will repeat the answer. That it's very clear the people of Scotland made their views clear in a vote in 2014, which was said to be a generational vote. That was the democratic mechanism that they had. That was the democratic mechanism that was used. That was the democratic mechanism that was accepted by the SNP at the time. And it is interesting, isn't it, Mr. Speaker, what's going on in the SNP? And I thought the honourable gentleman might want to tell us a bit about that. The rows between Mrs. Sturgeon and Mr. Salmond, with one accusing the other of not entirely being accurate in her evidence to the Scottish Parliament's committees. I thought he might be asking for a debate on that, Mr. Speaker. Wouldn't it be interesting to understand all the shenanigans that are going on, the accusations of forgetfulness, of money being spent, of breaches of the ministerial code, but not a word of that. Just the old complaint that the referendum in 2014 wasn't a valid referendum. It was authoritative, and it is once in a generational vote, and that is absolutely right, and we see the benefits of the Union. The figure that I've previously given for the support from UK taxpayers for Scotland has gone up. It's now £8.6 billion. The strength of the United Kingdom is helping Scotland face this pandemic. And that is why the United Kingdom is so strong and is to the advantage of all people of the United Kingdom. As regards bringing forward amendments to the trade bill, it's an important part of legislation. We want to get it through as swiftly as possible. People are well aware of what's been going on in the House of Lords and will be quite capable of discussing those issues. As regards an opposition day for the SNP debate, I'm always happy to have discussions both with the honourable gentleman, and I'm sure the Chief Whip for the SNP will have discussions about that. I'm aware of the Standing Order's commitments. The fishing issue was covered a moment ago by my right honourable friend, the Secretary of State for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, and perhaps the honourable gentleman should have tuned into that debate rather than bringing it up at business questions. But what is happening is that the government is tackling this issue, is dealing with it as quickly as possible, and the key is we've got our fish back. They're now British fish, and they're better and happier fish for it.